The story with this engine is it's from 1948. It hadn't run for a long time, came to me in total disrepair, and along with the engine and tender came two red painted cars. Everything is from 1948, and the owner of this said, hey, can you get stuff operational? And so here we go. We are running pretty well. I would not say that this has been easy. It has stumped me many times because the engine will suddenly do what it's doing right now. And, oh, great. So this is what happens when there's arcing from a side frame on a tender that's worn out and too close to the rail. As the tender rolls by, it causes a arc and a short, and in the case of this particular tender, it would actually trip the reverse unit. And so I did eyelets to raise up the wheel sets, and the sparking has stopped. However, I'm still having issues through every switch. It just is enough of a disconnect somehow in this wiring or in the pickups that the engine will stop and the reverse unit flips through every switch on the layout. So I talked with the owner, and I think what's going on is the insulators between the trucks and the frame are worn out. And so there's some little shorts that are happening once it goes over rough trackage, which is what, you've got a little bit of a gap here, and, it's not super smooth. So I think that's what's going on. So the next thing to do is actually remove the rivets, drop the trucks, and inspect the insulation, probably replace some of it, and then put in some new rivets and put things back together. I also took another tender off of another Hudson and plugged that in behind the engine, and that runs around perfectly. So definitely have isolated the problem to here in the tender. The other things that I tried is I cleaned this contact point, didn't make any difference. Cleaned the front one, re-soldered the wires here with new fresh solder. That didn't make any difference. I checked all the wiring for frays or anything that might be, jostled and touching the frame when it through rough track that might cause a temporary short. That wasn't it. I then added a tiny bit of solder to build this top of this rivet up, just again in case this wasn't making good enough contact. That didn't make any difference. So pretty much have narrowed it down to something insulation related between the wheels and the tender frame. So in front of us is the Hudson from 1948 that has been causing me a little bit of issues, at least the tender has. But check out the latest results here. Here we are at about 8.5 volts. Look what it's doing. It's not hiccuping, it's not having any issues going through the switches and rough track. There's no arcing going on. It's running like we'd hope it would. And forward and reverse. So what did it take to get here? Well, the initial cleaning and repair got the engine and tender back on the rails, got the reverse unit functional, got the motor and the engine running, smoke unit running. But as you may recall, I had a bunch of arcing happening because of the side trucks being too close to the rail on switches. And so I replaced, or I should say I installed eyelets on the end of all the axles to limit their travel because there was a lot of wear in the side frame. So that was one thing. And after that was done, the arcing stopped, but I was still getting reverse clicks happening and stalling out on switches. And so after trying to do everything I could to stop that and not having luck, I did the next thing, and that was replace the truck rivets and the insulators that were also very old, from 1948 original. And I did a little bit of fine tuning of the trucks through the years. They had gotten twisted and bent a little bit, so not all the wheels were riding on the rails as they should. So anyhow, between those different things, we've got a tender that operates correctly now, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty excited about how this turned out, and I know the owner's going to be just ecstatic.